Welcome back to the Shop Mini RC, everybody. I'm Ken, and today we are looking at a Mini B. And what we're going to do is we're going to swap these shocks. You can see we've already done it. What did we swap them to? Let's find out. Look at these. Oh, those are true reservoir shocks. Adjustable. They have a plunger in them. Got our bleed valve, and they are butter. Oh my God, they feel so good. We have a video completely disassembling these shocks so you can see how they look on the internals right over here. Now, these shocks are actually designed for the TRX4M crawlers, but the length here on the rear is perfect for the Mini B. The fronts, they're a little long. You can see that's the max drop, right? Quite a bit more than stock. However, the compression is basically the exact same, maybe 1 millimeter less. Okay, I think these ones compress down to 39 millimeters from eye to eye, center to eye. And this guy compresses down to 40 millimeters. Pretty sick though. Okay, again, if you're looking for that longer travel, there you go. Now, one of the main issues here, let's go ahead and bring our parts back over here. This is how they come. So the top eyelet will work just fine. Goes right on there. The thing is this is a 2.5 millimeter hole, and our shafts on our shocks here are 2 millimeters. So it's 0.5 millimeters, which means it's a little loose in there if you don't tighten it down, right? Back this guy off a little. And you can see there's just a tiniest bit of play in there, right? If I pull side to side. A little bit, right? If you tighten it down though, you are totally good. You can also use like a shim. Like this. These are fishing ties. They're for lures and they're crimps. So you're supposed to put the fishing line through there and crimp it down. But look at this. Look at how snuggy buggy that is. And that'll take up some of that slop in there. Or you can try to find different eyelets that are 2 millimeter eyelets. Now I think this, we're gonna have to try it on. I haven't tried it yet, but you're gonna have to cut them down, obviously. We'll pull off the back here. Because I think those are 2 millimeter to 2.5. What that is with a 0.5 wall thickness on this guy. Let's pull this guy off. Make sure our sleeve would fit on there. Oh, baby. Perfect. So you can completely remove your slop by using this little sleeve. Again, you'll have to cut it down because it's too long. Now, the best way to do that, I'm totally not sure yet. We'll probably just Dremel it down. That way you don't squish it, because if you try to just use cutters, you're going to end up, deforming it. You don't want to do that. Either way, that'll be perfect to space that out. The bottom, same thing, right? It's a 2.5 millimeter eyelet on the bottom. And your shaft is a 2, so you'll have to get yourself a little shim in there. Or not, you don't have to. This seems like it fits just fine. You can tighten straight down onto the ball joint, and you're good. There's no play or slop in there once you're tight onto the ball joint. Right? No side-to-side play. Like I'm pushing on it. No side. There's this, but that's the ball joint, so that's fine. And then the bottom is just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and measure these out for you real quick, just so you know. And these guys are right at the 54 and a half, somewhere in there. Almost 55, maybe 55s. And our stocks, again, this is completely uncompressed, fully extended, are going to be right at about the same. Let's see here. From center to center. Oh, a little longer, guys. Looks like they're at like 58 and a half. So we're just a little bit shorter on the rears, just barely. Okay. But our compressed is going to be basically the same. Our compressed on the stocks the max compression is 44 here, and then the max compression here, I believe, is like 39. Yeah. Like I said, 39 to 40, 39 and a half. Just a little bit less, a little bit more, actually. The length is a little bit more than the fronts. So you can definitely make these work. Again, the whole point of these true reservoir shocks is under rapid movement, right, at high speeds, your shock oil heats up and whatnot. And so the reservoir shock helps reduce that heat. Also, it just gives you a lot better tunability. I mean, you can tune these so well. Again, full plunger, completely tunable, bleed valve, everything. You got to check out the video that I talked about earlier. I'll also link it down in the description so you can find it if you already missed it in the card, but definitely a cool option. Now, on the front, you have to completely pop out your ball joint. This ball joint here is too wide to fit into your A-arm. Okay, so you can see the A-arm does not completely fit. There's no ball joint in there. I'm just making it work right now, which means there's a little bit of slop in there. But maybe with these sleeves or another ball joint of some kind, you might be able to use the stock ball joint. This little ball there, it's like a flush ball joint. That'll fit in there much better. The only problem is you're still going to have slop, but it'd be less slop than just the screw. So that's an option. Now you could use this stock end here, the ball joint link end, but again, the shaft's larger on this guy, so you're going to have to kind of rethread it or force it. I didn't try. It might crack. I don't know. Let's see. This one's 2. Yeah, and this guy's 2.5. So again, everything on these guys is 2.5. Everything on the Mini B is 2, but you can make it work, right? I think it's worth trying. Maybe Nexx will come out with a little bit shorter guy here, or at least different ball joints that you can pick up, or you can look for it, and then you can definitely make it fit with no slop. If all the ball joints on all of them were 2mm, and then on the bottoms were completely flush, that'd be perfect for this guy. Again, unless you're looking for a lot of travel in the back, you know, it does kind of suck. You're losing. Oh, we took it off. Hold on. There we go. You're losing about 2mm of droop here compared to the stocks. So that is unfortunate. Maybe they can, you know, again, they've already got this. All you need is a longer shaft, longer shock housing to get the rear, and then a little bit shorter in the front to get the front. Maybe you don't even change the fronts. I don't know. It depends on if you guys like to compress down even further so that you're totally bottoming out and you need that extra 1mm. Yeah, maybe they should do that. You could also look at trimming your cup. I bet it would compress more without the cup here, right? If you were to trim down your cup or trim down this end here, you could just trim this, letting your retainer sit down a little further. Oh, we're backwards. Letting your retainer sit down a little bit further, just get you that little extra millimeter of compression. Then you might be doing better. All right, we just dremeled our little sleeve. We'll clean this up probably here. But now that little sleeve will fit perfect right inside here. Bam. And, oh, actually we're on the wrong one here. Let's get this out. This guy. Bam. Right? Sleeve fits in there perfectly. And then we can go here, throw that guy on. Now we need to clean up our end a little bit here. Boom. Boom. Looking good. Oh yeah. Oh, perfect. Man. Look at that. No play at all. Just our side to side. Oh, that's good. Nice. All right. We're going to do the same thing at the bottom, and then we'll do the front. There's our bottom. She slides right in. Boom. Now, these guys do come with very soft springs. They're meant for crawlers, right? They're meant for like trail trucks or crawlers. The stock springs are much stiffer. You could swap them over, though, if you want. You also are going to want to put heavier weight oil in. I'm sure that the stock oil is way too light. But, oh no, we might have to use the perches from the other perches. Let's see here. Which means they might stretch around that post just a little bit, that shock shaft. You're going to have to adjust if you're going to try to use the stock shocks. You're going to have to make some adjustments there. Yeah, you'd have to like cut the perch down. Because the stock shock spring is a little bit larger diameter than these guys. So the stock perches will not work, or the Nexx perches will not work with the stock spring. So you definitely are going to need to put heavier oil in and preload these guys so that you can get your ideal ride height, but they're pretty soft. So either modify your stock perch and run your stock spring on these, or like I said, get a lot heavier oil. I mean, these are still pretty, look at that, no spring. They've rebounded them. So good, so good. Again, we don't know if they're going to work perfect. We're trying to make them work. We're going to figure it out and do the best we can. And then again, if people show an interest, maybe Nexx will make some appropriate spring rate and lengths for these guys. Again, they're almost perfect length as it is. So that's pretty cool, but I think we need some heavier springs for sure. I think these would also be, you know, a heavier spring would be a good thing for them to produce anyway as an option for the crawlers. So either way, I think they need a heavier spring because these are super soft. I do suppose if you really wanted to use these stock springs, you could just tighten in the bottom coil, you know, just bend it inward a little and tighten it up so that it does not slide off the perch of the Nexx shock. You can always do that. So just a little pro tip, because we're going to be using these ball joints from the stocks just in the front to take out some of the play there, since we can't use these. I mean, you could use these if you want to drum them down and make them narrow enough, or find some that are appropriately narrow. But we're just going to go ahead and use these. I mean, they're not ideal, but it takes up some of the slop, but they'll fall right out, right? They're just going to fall right out when we try to put them into the A-arms. You can see they take up some of the slop, just a little. But what we're going to do is just take a little, oh no, shock, no. Really? 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 Okay, there we go. So we're just going to get a little bit of grease and stick it in our end here. And then we can stick the ball in there. And then it won't fall out while we're putting it into the A-arm. Okay? Because we tried to get it in the A-arm without the ball falling out, and it just kept falling out. So now we can at least get it in there. And there we go. Bam. Hopefully it's aligned and we can get our screw in. Ta-da! You can see the ball joint in there. And it just takes up a little bit of slop, so that helps keep it nice and smooth. You can see here. Okay, so much better. There's a little bit. You can see that. Again, not ideal, and there's ways to fix it. You know, if we were using our stock ends, which actually, if we were able to use our stock ends on the Nexx shock shaft, then we'd be able to use our stock springs with the stock cups. Mind you, the stock fronts are really short, so I don't know there. Again, it's all a matter of trial and error. So we're going to just kind of, you can see our brass bushing that we got made up for this, and boom, no play on the top. So just the tiniest bit on the bottom, but I mean, it is so minimal. Yeah, I think it'll work great. All right, here we go. Looking good. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up just a little bit. You can adjust this right in here. I don't know if you can see that. But there you go. Just adjust it a little bit there. A little bit here. Got a lot of preload on the back here because, well, like I said, the shocks are, or the springs are really, really soft. But man, feels like butter. Ooh, buddy. I think this could be really good for like carpet maybe. Again, I'm not the most versed in hardcore racing of these guys. We raced it on carpet for a while, and we kind of got a little homemade dirt track in the back, so we just mess with that. But yeah, I think there's something to these shocks, guys. Definitely tell me in the comments below what your thoughts are on these and maybe how you'd use them on a Mini B or even a Mini T. I'll have to check the shock lengths on these. Or even like a JRX, right? Like a Mini JRX, one of these guys. Might even work better on these because I think these have a much longer shock. So yeah. I don't know why I ended up putting it on the brush when we have some brushless we want to throw it on, but this will give me a good idea just even with a stock. This is basically a completely box stock little setup. Was till we put these shocks on there. So we'll see. Yeah, dude, I am excited. I'm getting a little slap there. Okay, we need stiffer springs, I think, and thicker oil. We definitely need thicker oil. Right now, they come with basically some 20 weight 200 or 195 CST. You definitely want something a little thicker. That'll help dampen that and prevent some of that chassis slap. But I think for, yeah, not crazy high jumps, this will be smooth. Unfortunately, we're not going to run it today. Sorry if you were looking forward to that. It's raining outside. And I just want to get this out there and show you guys in the Mini B, Mini T groups, some of you race guys, get your opinion on this. Again, should Nexx make some dedicated Mini B, Mini T sized shocks with proper ball ends and whatnot and stiffer springs? Should they do that? Would you guys buy them? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments on Facebook if I post this on Facebook. And yeah, until then, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share the video. Do all those things you do at the end of videos you like, and I appreciate it. We also have a contest going on, so check out the contest on our YouTube channel. We're giving away a free ready to run. It could be a Mini B, Mini T, JRX2, crawler, Mini Z if you want to run some on-road Mini Z or drift. Yeah, check out that contest video. And yeah, get out there, build something awesome, cars, courses, and communities, and then smash it, crash it, bash it, but don't break the expensive parts. Alrighty guys, peace.